Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
Good morning, good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. It's a bit of a mess, a bit of a mess here in South Florida. We are supposed to be experiencing the side effects of a hurricane that's going to be coming through the area. Actually, I think the party actually already started. Looking at the radar this morning, we have got oh my goodness. We have, if you've ever stepped on an ant pile, a large ant pile, and just seen ants everywhere, well, that's what the radar looks like this morning across South Florida. Just a bunch of stuff happening all over the area. So it's going to be a good day to listen to the show because we're not going to be able to do any fishing that I'm aware of anyway. This morning I have Robert Warner. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine. He's stepping in for Carolyn. Good morning, Robert. How are you, my friend?
Good morning. If anybody's looking for a place to go offshore fishing in 12 to 14-foot seas, we've got them for you. So.
Robert, if I can get a little more volume out of you because you're a little low.
Hold on.
That's a little better. Well, let's while we're talking about the seas.
Better?
Yeah. While we're talking about the seas, let's just take a look today. East northeast winds 25 to 30 knots, gusts to 40. This is along the coast in the northeast area. We are going to have seas are going to be 11 to 13 feet with an occasional 17 feet. The intercoastal waters are going to be extremely rough in the exposed areas. It's not going to be a day to go out in the boat. I
would assume it'll be about 1 to 3 in the intercoastal. So.
You think? In exposed areas, I think it would be a little worse than that with all the wind and everything. According to the map, the Wonder Map, which is what I bring up every Sunday morning to take a look and see what's going on, there is just a tremendous amount of activity happening from looks like to just north of Port St. Lucie all the way down through the Keys. So it looks like this thing is now coming through our area. So again, it's not going to be a particularly good day to go to the beach. It's not going to be a particularly good day to go out in a boat unless you're maybe a lake or something like that, or a backwater like Robert was mentioning where it's not quite so rough. It's just not the kind of day to go swimming though, with rip currents on high threat according to the report. So it'll be a great day to just tune in and listen to the fun this morning. Did you get to do any fishing this week?
Not a bit. Even though the hurricane or tropical storm was not here, we have had heavy winds all week, and
that has
not been conducive to doing any sort of fishing. So.
That has been kind of strange, hasn't it? All week long we've had just winds and winds and winds.
They gave an explanation on the weather report last night. I didn't follow any of it, but they explained why some high pressure thing is causing this wind. So, even though before this tropical storm got here, that was what was causing it. So,
but what we're experiencing now is definitely from the storm. I don't think this was prior. What you were mentioning prior. This is what we're seeing today is because of this. That was a hurricane at one time. What I understand, it was a Cat 5 at one time. Am I right? Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I think it hit as a Cat 4 or Cat 5 down in Central America. So.
Wow, heavy duty stuff. So what's the latest with the magazine?
The latest with the magazine is we won't be doing another issue until the holiday issue. The holiday issue will be out December 5th, and we'll start working on that here in the next week or two, and that will be that. It will be, if anybody's got anything to send in, they can send it to pages@flfishmag.com, and you can find the magazine every month at www.flfishmag.com. But we've got some good people coming in on the magazine. We'll have some good articles, some great fishing reports. We've now got fishing reports from Destin and the West Coast and the East Coast, and the Keys, obviously. But so we're trying to cover the state with fishing reports and
excellent.
Just slowly picking away at it. The more people that get involved, the better the magazine gets. So get involved.
Amen. And it's something that if it falls along the parameters and you send it in to Robert, he'll put it in the magazine, pictures. This is what I like about Robert's magazines. It's a digital format. And what that means, it's found online, and you're not limited to just pictures. You can put pictures, you can put video, you can put audio, you can video and audio. it's just a lot more flexible, and it makes it much more interesting when someone sends in. And it's always interesting with a picture, but when someone sends in a video, it just adds that more enhancement to whatever the particular story is. So you got a video, you got a picture, you got a unique story.
Yeah.
Robert is the man to send it to.
The thing I like most about the digital format is if you're reading an article and you like something about it and you want to know more about it, chances are somewhere in that article there's a link you can click to that'll give you the full story or tell you a side story to it, or a link to a website that'll explain more. But it gives you so much more flexibility than a paper magazine that I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, apparently so do several thousand people too as well. What was your last number on visitors at the website?
The visitors to the website, it runs at about 158,000 a month, right around there.
Somebody likes it.
158.
Somebody likes it. Yeah, that's just, like I said, it is a great way to be able to experience some of the things that other people are sharing. And again, because it is a digital format, you're not limited. It's so variable. It's great. You know anything about any tournaments going on?
The sailfish tournament should be coming up. And unfortunately, sailfish love this kind of weather. So the rough water, most sailfish tournaments are fished in like 5 to 8 foot seas.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. That's just because of the time of year. This is the time of year for them. We never have, I don't say never, but we very seldom have beautiful, perfect weather this time of year out on the water. It's normally a little choppy or a little rough out there because we get a lot of these northeast winds. But it is sailfish time, and they do like rough water. So do wahoo.
So this is the kind of weather to go looking for them. But I tell you what, I think it's there. You were saying that some places the seas are going to be like 18 and 20 feet. No, thank you. That's no fun for me. I think even in an ocean liner, you'd feel that, right?
Just trying to stay alive. So
I was saying, I think even if you had an ocean liner, you'd feel that rough of a wave. It may not be.
I would hope so. Yeah, I would think.
Gee, many. Yeah,
I would think you would.
My goodness. Well, we want to give a little update about Carolyn. The reason Carolyn's not with us this morning is her mom had an accident. She fell and she broke a bone, and Carolyn is taking care of her. This is what I love about my regular co-host Carolyn. She is a beautiful person from the inside out. She's taking care of Mom. Instead of sending her somewhere and have somebody take care of her, she is taking care of her mom. So that's what she's doing this morning. She's giving Mom first aid and comfort and love and helping her feel better, and make sure that we say
Carolyn's
a prayer for Mom.
Robert? Carolyn's a great lady for sure.
Yeah. So that's why she's not with us this morning. Her mom had an accident. So we've saying prayers for Mom and healing. And she is an elderly person and needs all the help that she can get. So if you would, when you're taking a minute to pray today, remember Carolyn's mom. Say a prayer for healing for her. And that's why she's not with us this morning. Robert will be with us for the first hour.
If you want to learn more about Carolyn, any place in the magazine where you see an Atlas Tracks logo, just click on it. It'll take you straight to the website and tell you a whole lot more about Carolyn.
Oh, that's cool. Well, Robert is going to be with us the first hour this morning, and then Angelia, the Florida Salty Cowgirl, will be with us the second hour. So we'll have a little information on. Angelia is my Keys contact, but she's not in the Keys right now. She's actually in her homeland. Her homeland is over there in the Tampa area. So she's going to be able to give us, isn't it funny? She said, I left the Keys to get away from it, and she's in Tampa, and it's nailing Tampa.
Yeah, there's no escape right now.
Oh, my goodness. It's just one of those things. Pam Worth, which is one of my guests who used to be my co-host for quite some time, a couple of weeks ago, she was headed out to a tournament out in near the Louisiana area. And wouldn't you know it, she's headed out that way, and what's coming? Another hurricane. So you had to figure out what she was going to do, whether she was going to take the chance of going out in that area to see if the area that she's in was not going to be hit, or head in the other direction away from it to try to find something to do some fishing. she ended up going away from it, but because of the repercussions of the hurricane, she still felt bits and pieces of it, so she couldn't get away from it either. And it's just one of those things here in Florida. It reminds me when I was living in Colorado for a short period of time. I was in the Air Force and technical school there. The thing that flipped me out about Colorado, first of all, I grew up in Miami, all flat. There's nothing in Miami. And you get to Colorado, it's my gosh, it's beautiful mountains, snow caps. It's just, for somebody who came from Miami, it's like a dream. But the next thing that really impressed me was it was the end of May. I was walking back to my barracks, and it began to snow flurry, and I was wearing it wasn't that cold when I started walking out. It was like maybe 60 degrees, 60, maybe a little less than 60, but it wasn't much. It wasn't anywhere near snowing temperature, but in a matter of about a half an hour, it went from that to snowing. So this reminds me of here in Florida, in a matter of about 15 or 20 minutes, it'll be sunny, beautiful outside, and the next 15 or 20 minutes, the whole world seems like it's coming to an end. That was happening there in Colorado, but it was happening with snow. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, I had a similar experience there. I lived in Colorado for about 2 years, and I was in Golden, Colorado one day with some friends. We were at the Coors Brewery.
Oh, that was a cool place.
It was June the 10th. We were walking back up the hill to their house when it began to snow on June the 10th.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell is this?
Oh, it flipped me out. Yep. Like I said, it's one of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen sunsets. I guess because it's like 5,000 feet above sea level. And because you're so far up, you get a different view of the sunsets. It's some of the most gorgeous sunsets I've ever seen in my life. Comparable to what you see on the ocean when you're sitting like in the Keys or on the West Coast and watching the sun go down or the sun come up. Comparable to that, but I think it's because it's so high up, you just see so many more colors. It's unbelievable. Do you remember seeing sunsets with just bright, beautiful colors there?
Absolutely. We used to go up and fish Lake Granby when I was in Colorado and witness some absolutely beautiful sunrises and sunsets up in that area. Also, some phenomenal. I love to watch thunderstorms. Mm-hmm. And if you have not watched a thunderstorm across the Rockies, you have not seen a phenomenal light show.
Oh,
I mean,
my gosh.
The lightning is horizontal, not vertical.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
It's a phenomenal thing to look at.
Listen, I guess, again, because it's so far up there. Well, I think we have our next guest on the line with us. That's Betty Bauman. And Betty is with Ladies Let's Go Fishing, one of my favorite places to support because I'm heavily in support of ladies fishing. Good morning, my dear. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Just getting things caught up. It's a rainy day, so
yes, very.
I'm just still unpacking things from our last seminar in the Keys, where the ladies caught 108 fish.
Oh my goodness! Let's hear a little bit more about that.
They caught everything out of the sun. Under the sun, we had 3 sailfish releases,
wow.
2 tarpon releases inshore. We had sizable mahi, wahoo. We had some tuna. We had snapper.
Oh, my gosh.
Inshore, we had snook, redfish, trout, jacks.
Wow.
Sharks released, pretty much everything. So they had a chance to really use what they learned.
So for those who aren't familiar with Ladies Let's Go Fishing, just a quick rundown. What does Ladies Let's Go Fishing do?
Ladies Let's Go Fishing conducts educational programs so women can learn, practice, go fishing, or practice hands-on, go fishing, and network all around the state of Florida. So we've done about 9 events so far. Our 10th event is coming up at St. Augustine on November 21st and 22nd. That one's going to be surf fishing, and it's filled already.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's a great program.
Yeah, I support Ladies Let's Go Fishing with everything that I can do because in my lifetime, I've said it many times, I believe it was my mom that really made fishing for us so great because she loved fishing. And I know, from my experience and some of my friends, they're married and they would like to take their wives, but their wives feel intimidated, if you will, because they really don't know anything about fishing. And some of them feel like, oh, I don't want to touch this, stinky and all that. And they would really like to, the bottom line, but they don't know anything about it. And some of them are maybe embarrassed to ask their husband to teach them or intimidated to ask their husband to teach them. This is a place that you can go. And this lady will teach you literally from how to tie the knot to how to cook the fish. She doesn't leave anything out. And to me, again, in my experience, it was my mom. Our family went fishing. It was a wonderful experience. It was a part of the way that our family was able to be a very close-knit family. There's only 4 people in my family. My brother is my best friend in the world. My mom and dad were just the best that you could ever imagine. And I truly believe that a lot of that went to fishing. That's why I do the show. We would go out as a family, enjoy this experience all at the same time, all had a little piece of the play, if you will. And the result of that was a stronger bonding. Betty has said on many occasions, one of the side effects, and I don't even know if it's a benefit, maybe it's a better way to put it, one of the benefits of being in Ladies Let's Go Fishing is the relationships that the ladies build, right?
They make friends and they meet people. We do, programs or exercises to encourage them to make friends. And for many ladies, it's a life-changing experience. And they make new friends and have people to go out fishing with.
So the next one is, what'd you say was up in St. Augustine?
Yeah, it's at the Guy Harvey Ocean Resort. It's our fishing with Noel Kuhn, who's going to be teaching everything. And then we have the Night of Lights tour in St. Augustine by golf cart, so they can see when they light up the city from the rooftop to the ground.
I like that. That's cool. So, and when is that?
November 21st to the 22nd. I'm actually working on the detail letter right now and getting ready to receive. We have a new shearwater boat coming, so they're our new boat partner, and we're excited about it. And you know what I like about it most? It's pretty funny. The T-top is going to have misters.
Say that again. The T-top is what?
We'll have misters.
It has misters on it.
Yeah, so when you're getting ready and it's hot, you can just turn on those misters. I'm like, wow, this is going to be so cool.
It literally.
Go outriggers.
We normally have to rely on the freshwater hose on the boat just to shoot ourselves, but that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
well, she said
she said
it's going to be
company.
She said it was going to be cool. That's literal. Literally, it's going to be cool.
Yeah. Excuse the pun. Yeah, and we're going to have the Rance Electronics and ICOM radio and two power poles. This one will have 2. I like 2 power poles because that keeps your boat straight when you're shallow water anchoring without having to throw a separate anchor out. The current.
Betty, you're in Stewart, aren't you, or close by?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale, okay. Different Betty, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we used to have a program in Stewart. I haven't gone there for a few years, but loved having events up there.
When you said power
I would
pole,
like to know more about your stuff for the magazine. That's for sure. So.
Yeah. Afterwards, give me the contact info. Make sure that you're on our list because we do send out press releases. That's how we get a lot of ladies. We're going to be in the Miami Herald. We've been in boating industry lately. Soundings Trade Only, Key West Citizen, Coconut Telegraph. We've got great pictures, too. I teach the ladies how to take a memorable picture, and the media seems to love it because not often you see, pictures of boatloads of ladies all holding up fish.
And
it's a wonderful thing.
Robert's the perfect place to send that stuff. He's just right up your alley. Pictures, videos, audios. All of that stuff.
Yeah, and
I'm working on
videos.
Promoted
women fishing since we started. So.
Yeah. Well, when this is over, give me his information.
I'll give you her number, Robert, and you can call her.
Okay.
Yep. I should be here working today.
Well, today, of all days, today is not going to be the day to do fishing. So, what's the next best thing? Either do maintenance or the administrative stuff that you got to get done. And then when the sun comes out, we'll go out there and chase the fish again. So the next
get back at it. Yep.
The next event is booked. That's going to be in St. Augustine. The one after that is going to be on the West Coast. Is that what you said?
I'm working on the dates to put them on the website. We're going to have a freshwater event at Bass Pro Shops in Dania Beach.
Oh,
Fort
cool.
Lauderdale area. Now that the Miami Boat Show isn't going to happen,
Yeah, I heard about that.
schedule around that show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to adjust some dates.
Phooey.
And then we have one in the West Coast. Then we have Fort Lauderdale. Then we'll have one in the June Keys. Then we have a lot of virtual seminars that everybody's encouraged to, well, they're really virtual meetings, and we have guest speakers and usually a really fun raffle. So people are encouraged to sign up because we get ladies that may not be able to attend or live, all across the United States and did not travel like they did. Well, for the Keys, we had ladies from all over the U.S. But this is also another way for ladies to network and get to be get to know some of the other ladies.
It's amazing when you mention fishing in the Keys, how many people will show up from everywhere.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, even with the pandemic, we had more than 40.
Oh, wow.
When I lived down there, I had friends I never knew.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're out of time. That's what happens when we have a guest on we're having so much fun with. But before we go, I want to give you an opportunity. If people want to get more information about Ladies Let's Go Fishing, how do they do that?
Go to the website. Also, we have occasional auctions. I'll probably do one for the holidays, which we need to get by. And it's ladiesletsgofishing.com with 3 W's. Well,
Betty, I wish you an awesome day regardless of the weather. And I'm looking forward to having you back on with an update, probably in the next couple of weeks or so, maybe a month about. And you can let us know how the St. Augustine thing went. I'll give Robert an opportunity to say goodbye to you, and we're going to go off to a break. Thank you, ma'am.
Phenomenal program, Betty. Keep it up.
All right, I do. We don't give up.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee, 561-795-4878.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Holly Wolf Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning to you. If you're just joining us, we will have archives set up. And the way to find those archives is to go to our Facebook page. If you're a Facebook fanatic, get over there to Facebook, give us a like on the Facebook page. It makes us relevant in the searches, and there you will find a link to all of our archives. So anything that you've missed will be recorded and able to play back at any given time. This morning, I usually have Carolyn with me. Carolyn is my co-host. Her mom had an accident, fell, and hurt herself, and Carolyn's taking care of Mom this morning. God bless her. And instead of sending her off to a convalescent home, she's taking care of her herself. That's the kind of person that Carolyn is, a wonderful, God-giving, God-loving person. Thank you, Carolyn. Greatly appreciate what you're doing for your mom. There's not a lot of people out there that feel that way about their parents as they get older and become a problem in their life, if you will, and send them off somewhere else. So in place of Carolyn, I have the next best thing. The next best thing is Robert. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine, and he is one of my regulars. He usually comes on early in the morning, gives us fishing reports, and tells us a little bit about the magazine. Welcome back, Robert.
Good morning again.
All right.
It's beginning to pick up here. So
yeah, we're getting a little bit of everything here. My next guest, William Dunn. William is with Take a Kid Fishing Incorporated. My kind of stuff. Those of you who have listened to the show know, first of all, I'm an adoptive parent. I used to be a foster parent, and kids are my passion. And this is somebody who works with kids, so this is right up my alley. Welcome, William, and thank you for taking time to call in this morning, my friend.
Thank you for allowing me to get on the show this morning, guys.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Got an organization, nonprofit. I take a lot of your group homes here local in Central Florida. We take them out on the Double Eagle deep sea fishing charter. We take 20 to 30 kids at a time.
Wow.
We actually work a program for boys that are fatherless.
Wow. This makes a big difference in people's lives, I got to tell you. I'm a firm believer that children need a mom and a dad, and there are circumstances where that's not happening. So when someone like you comes in, steps up to the plate, and helps fill that void, that's awesome, my friend. Thank you for doing that. How does this go on?
I actually follow him, and they do phenomenal work. I follow them very closely. They do great work. So
wow. So how does it all work, William? Tell us a little bit about the details.
Well, like I said, I deal with, there's probably 20 to 30 group homes just here in Central Florida, where I'm at in Lakeland between Tampa and Orlando. People reach out to me, and I reach out to Double Eagle, and we join forces, and we take these kids out for a half-a-day trip, all expenses covered by my sponsors. take them out there and mentor them, show them life skills, show them that somebody cares about them for the day. And actually, I intercede with the group homes, but with the COVID going on, it's kind of been a little bit rough. But we're doing a trip next week. We're going bow fishing. Twisted Bow Fishing Company reached out to me. We're going to take about 4 or 5 kids out on the boat and do some bow fishing. And then I got another trip planned on the Double Eagle, probably the second week of December.
So let's take a moment and thank the sponsors that are doing this for you. Who are the sponsors?
The Double Eagle Deep Sea Fishing Charter out of Clearwater, Captain Chad. They're phenomenal. He's been helping me for a little over 2.5 years on these trips. It's
awesome.
It's been a blessing because with the times with the COVID, it's been a rough year, but God's providing. I mean, we got donors coming in and sponsors. LL Bean. LL Bean's actually one of my big sponsors out of Maine.
Wow.
They flew down about a little over a year ago, and did a shoot on me. It's actually on our website. They did an awesome job on my life and how I started this organization. With my neighbor was fatherless. That's what got my heart. This little boy had no dad, and started taking him fishing. He's 19 now. He's an awesome angler. He's actually a little bit better than me, but I won't share it with too many people. But that's what blossomed this organization.
Wow. That is, I mean, that kind of brings a tear to my eye, because this is my life's passion. I recognize at an early age that children are our future. If we don't take care of the children, we're not going to be taking care of our future. And there is, and has been for quite some time, a direct attack on the family itself. The family unit, again, this is my opinion, the family unit is really the backbone of this country and our society. And when there is a direct attack on the family unit, that is an indirect attack on our society. When we have people who come in to the game and step up to the plate and do things like you're doing, this makes all the difference for a better future for our society. Any way somebody can help, I would heavily, support that. How do people? You have a website as well. What's the website?
The website is all it's all the abbreviations. It's takffl.com, and we have a Facebook page also. Is Take a Kid Fishing Inc., and we're also on Instagram. We have a PayPal account on there. Like I said, people donate. These trips aren't cheap. I get a really good deal. We actually, I don't know if y'all are familiar with down south over here, Yeehaw Junction area.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There's a place over there called Outback, Osceola Outback Adventures. The only place in the world besides Australia you can catch Burr Monday. They've actually they're awesome supporters of us. We just took the kids over there 2-3 weeks ago. You catch these Burr Mondays, and it's a trip of a lifetime for these kids. And Byron and his wife Kimberly, they sponsor us to go over there, and it's phenomenal.
Wow.
These kids still talking about it from a couple weeks ago.
Okay, now
they do a phenomenal job over there. Osceola, they're nice people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very awesome people.
The species that you just said, I'm not familiar with. What is that?
It's a between like a snook, tarpon /
striper
tail, and it's striper. And don't ask me how to spell it because my wife always laughs at me. But it's called Burr Monday.
Robert, tell me what you think it's like. What?
He's right. It's like a combination of a bass, a striper, a tarpon, and a snook. They're
good gravy.
And we were actually out there a couple weeks ago filming with Carbon TV, Living the Water Life. They just put me on their page. They're sponsoring us. This fish, we were talking to Byron, has more mega oils than a salmon.
Wow.
And what they do is they harvest them, and with the COVID going on, they're not allowing like the Fish City Grill stocks them, on their menu, and other local restaurants. So they're allowing people to go over there and fish for them. Like I said, it's just north of Orlando, and
That's
it's
cool.
a fish that you'll never catch unless you go to Australia.
Wow.
Catch and release, but they actually have peacocks there now, peacock bass they stock now. So I mean, it's something that these kids will never experience unless my sponsors sponsor us to take them there, and it's been a real blessing.
Well, I would support anybody who would want to help sponsor you. I would suggest that you get a hold of him And again, the website is www.takffl.com. It stands for Take a Kid Fishing Florida.com. Go there, and everybody wins in something like this. When we can raise a generation of children who are responsible, who understand. For me, fishing was one of my first real life's lesson. Well, some most important life lessons early on in life, because there were times that we would go fishing. It was rare, but it happened. We'd go fishing, we didn't catch what we wanted, and it was kind of a disappointment for me. And my dad would explain to me, "This is part of life. This is what happens in life. You can plan for something over and over and over again, and it may not work out exactly the way that you wanted it to. So you can make a decision at this point. You can let it get you down, or you can say, well, it's not over. I can still go back and do it, go fishing again." The same thing with life. If you plan it out and it doesn't work out exactly like you want, go back, look at it, and do it again. It's great. You're bringing these, these young.
Call it fishing, not catching. So.
Yeah, again, I can't tell you how much I love to hear about this kind of stuff. Primarily because of my background. I'm a former foster parent. I'm a former adopted. I am an adoptive parent, and anything that we can do to help kids, because they are our future. And if they are on the wrong track, we're all on the wrong track. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I was saying, it's a great thing what he's doing. We have we didn't do it this last summer because of COVID, but we normally ran kids seminars during the summer for the tackle boxes,
I remember,
Xboxes.
Yeah, I remember that.
We weren't able to do it this summer, but I appreciate greatly what he's doing, and like I said, I follow him very closely on Facebook. Great stuff, just great stuff they're doing. So,
William, anything that is coming up immediately? I know you mentioned the one. Anything else coming up after that?
Well, we try to do a trip for Christmas. We actually. People can go on my page and donate. I try to take them out. Every kid that we take out for this Christmas trip will get a rod and reel combo.
Oh, wow.
And a gift card. Because like I said, these kids are in these group homes, and the group homes are hurting. I mean, these deacons reach out to me. I deal with a lot of these guys I go fishing actually with the one guy I deal with heavily is the Sheriff Youth Villa. Me and the director goes fishing, and they're just hurting. I mean, these foster homes are hurting not only financially, but for food. I mean, they're housing 10 to 15 kids.
Yeah, I remember them days.
It's just, we want to take them out, give them a fishing rod and reel combo, and most of the homes I deal with have lakes on their property, so we interact with the kids. We're safe right now. We're using, face shields and stuff, and staying as distance that we can on the boat. The boat's like an 85-footer catamaran on the Double Eagle.
Wow.
So 20, 30 people, you got plenty. I mean, there's so much room on this boat.
Yep. Wow. That is awesome stuff, man. I got to tell you, thank you for doing what you do. And when you talk about the group homes, I mentioned I was a foster parent. There was many group homes that we would go visit, and it's a little disappointing, but I'm grateful that they're there, because who would do it if they weren't doing it? And you're absolutely right. Sometimes it's 15 kids in a group home.
Yes, sir.
And they get lost.
I'll tell you, we did a trip a couple weeks ago for Pinellas Lighthouse for the blind, and these kids they caught over 300 grunts, and every one of these kids that we took out, I get choked up about it. They were legally blind.
Wow.
And these kids went out. They never experienced being on the water before. They reached out to me. It was actually their summer camp, and that's what they wanted to do, to go fishing. And like I said, my donors, I appreciate them, and the Double Eagle, without them, would not be possible. And then we took out a group called Nubbability. It was kids that had lost arms and legs.
Mm.
And these kids turned it up. I mean, they were catching flounder on this boat, and it's hard. It warms your heart. I mean, it really does. It gives you so much peace in your heart that I'm able to do this.
I'm at a loss for words.
Appreciated. That's for sure. So.
Wow.
It's pretty much my ministry for these kids. I get a lot of people reach out to me. I shouldn't say I lost a big opportunity, because it's not. There's a big event over here this weekend in Lakeland, and they wanted to use my 501c. I'm a nonprofit 501c. They wanted to use my 501c for their beer proceeds, and they were going to donate all the money back to to take a kid fishing, and it's not a godly event. I try to with these kids. I try to keep it godly. I try to get mentors for them. That Mike Oscott's went out with us. Monster Mike out of Miami. Big YouTubers. We just had some YouTubers come in for this Bird Monday trip a couple weeks ago. One guy, Joey Fitcham. He has over 3 million followers on Instagram, and these kids, they look up to these guys, and I try to get godly mentors.
God bless you, man.
Like I said, it's my ministry. I'm trying to steer these kids in the right direction in life. And
it's easier to
the kid.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say.
The LL Bean video I did. If somebody will go watch it. This young man was in a foster home. He's a African American young man. He was in one of my group homes that I was dealing with. And he would cry on the boat with me. He would be like, "Look, man, I'm fixing to age out." And I never even thought about the aging out. When they turn 18, they age out of these foster homes.
Yep.
And this young man reached out to me on one of the boats. They did a big news story on me and him that he was going to age out. And 3 weeks or 4 weeks before the Ella Bean shoot, a local pastor adopted him. Now he's a star football player. He's probably going to be on the Florida Gators. He's actually on my video, Ty. Awesome young man, respectable. And when I see things, people tag my stuff. I put on my tag just for one more. If I could just change it for one more child, that's what my heart is. I mean.
Wow. Well, I'm getting choked up listening to you because this is my heart's passion. I don't speak it, I walk it. So I'm just one of those people. I have seven adopted children. We helped.
Wow. God bless you, man.
We helped. Oh, God did bless me. Believe me when I tell you, we have 7 adopted children and paid less than $1,000. God was definitely in the middle of that.
Wow.
We fostered about 19 children altogether. Children are my highest passion. It's easier to have a child brought up in the right way than to try to fix a man once he's grown. It's a hell of a lot harder to fix it once they're grown up and they've got all the bad stuff in them. It's easier to take care of it while they're growing up and give them the right training and teach them a responsibility. Fishing is an excellent example of that. It's a life lesson. It's a responsibility. It's a skill, but it's also fun. So it's a mixture of all these things together, and it opens up, as you're probably well aware, William, it opens up doors that are normally closed, especially when you're sharing an experience with someone like that. When I take my grandkids fishing and they catch a fish, it doesn't matter what kind of fish, it doesn't matter what size it is, their eyes light up like golf balls because they caught a fish. You know, that's and again, it's a way to get a conversation going that you may not be able to do normally, because you're there experiencing the same thing, and they're feeling good. When they're feeling good is when they're willing to share. When they're feeling bad, it's a little harder to get it out of them because they don't want to open up at that point as easily as when they're feeling good. So thank you, William. Greatly appreciate you taking the time to call in. I love what you're doing, my friend. I'm going to have you back on if you don't mind. Maybe in a month or so, give us an update. And people, again, before we go, people want to get involved. It's let's try it again one more time, Rascal. It's early in the morning, but we're waking up. Take a Kid Fishing Incorporated. You can find him on Facebook. You can find him online, takffl.com. Support them in whatever way you can, because really, you guys, you've heard me say time and time again, everybody wins. When everybody wins, that's the best thing that you can do. We're raising children in a manner that will be responsible and have a bright future before them, versus just leaving them in the cold, leaving them in the dark, and letting them just. I've seen so much in the foster parent program where children they're kind of thrown aside. I mean, it's sad to say, but that's what's happened. In a lot of these cases, they're thrown aside and they feel like they've been left thrown aside. When someone steps up to the plate and says, "Hey, come with me, let me go show you something," and it's an enjoyable thing. I don't know of many kids who wouldn't like to go out on the water, who wouldn't like to be on a boat. My gosh, when I was a kid, boats were like a fantasy to me. So thank you, William. Greatly appreciate it. I want to give Robert an opportunity to say thank you as well, and then we're going to go to a quick break.
Thank you for everything you do. That's a great program, buddy.
I appreciate you guys, man. Like I said, the community's, been a blessing. Bass Pro, I don't know if you've seen on my page, they just donated, I don't know, probably 200 202 Zepcos, a bunch of combos, and me and my wife, I I know a lot of people say why, but I'm a tire salesman. My wife works at Wells Fargo's bank over 20 years. God's really blessed us. I don't take nothing. I don't take a salary out of this, and I want people to know that all your donations go to these trips and merchandise. I do not take one bit of salary. Nobody on my board or me draws a salary off this. It's all for God's kingdom. So
Amen.
That's pretty much where it stands.
It's for a much, much higher salary than something monetary like money.
Yes, sir. Amen. Amen.
All right, my friend. God bless you. Wish you an awesome day regardless of the weather. We're having crummy weather here. I don't know how good it is up where you're at, but it's not very good.
We're on our way. We're actually on our way to church right now, and it's coming. It's raining, but it's not as bad. But y'all be blessed, and thank you. Like I said, thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. You can call me a grouper. 'Cause I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida show. Good morning, good morning. I want to say a big thank you to Marina Rock Radio. Marina is one of our associates, and they allowed us the opportunity to use their service. A big thank you to you guys. That's another way that you can listen to us. If you have the TuneIn app, if you go to Marina Rock Radio, you can listen to us that way. If you have our app, just turn the app on. Our app is free to download. There are no spyware. There is no adware. There are no push notifications. Just a simple way to listen to our network. And the other way you can listen to us, go to Facebook. If you're a Facebook fanatic, go on Facebook. You'll find the Fishing in Florida show. Click on Contact Us. That'll get you on the live server. Give us a like while you're there. And, of course, our home network, www.wcetfm.com. We have a player there as well. Let me welcome back, let me welcome back my co-host this morning, who is Robert with Florida Fisherman Magazine. Welcome back, sir.
Well, welcome back again.
And my next guest is Trae West. Trae is with Big Dog Tackle. Welcome and good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. Such an inspirational show to wake up to every day. I mean, that's the last gentleman on the show is truly an inspiration.
That was awesome. Awesome stuff. And how have you been, my friend?
Yeah, we've been good. If this rain would get out of here, we would be even better, I think.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I guess
I don't think I've ever seen a storm do so many zigzags out
Isn't
there.
that crazy? It's just like, oh my gosh, it's going to do almost a U-turn.
It's like a drunken storm.
I wasn't ready for that, Robert. That is true, though. That's
a good one.
Oh my gosh, that's the track of it. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to describe it, Robert. No. Still kind of caught me by surprise. Oh, my goodness. So what's the latest and greatest going on, Trae? Any words on what's happening out there? Those of us who do go fishing?
Well, there's not too many fishing reports as of the past
I can
week.
imagine.
It's been pretty rough out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get a break, and maybe this storm will break up over Cuba today a little bit and maybe fade out over the next week. Hopefully in the next 7 days we'll get a break. But prior to that, the sailfish were biting, and we did have a good wahoo bite going on for a while and some sporadic mahi out there.
Wow. Robert, did I step on you? I apologize. Were you saying something?
No. I was listening to what he was saying.
Okay.
It's exactly what Patrick Price was telling me last week. So
The same thing, huh?
just tough to get out there right
Yeah.
now, and he's had a lot of cancellations due to weather. But the sailfish bite and the wahoo bite's been great. There's even some mahi still out there, but getting to them right now is not very pleasant. So
Yeah, you definitely need a snorkel.
yeah, for sure.
That or a drone. Maybe that would be the way to do it. You sit on the shoreline and just get you a long distance drone, one of those heavy duty drones that can lift like 250 pounds. Go fishing, and maybe that may be a new way to go fishing. I may have invented a new way to
go.
go.
A helicopter. So.
Oh my gosh!
I think the fish are just schooling up right offshore, waiting for us to come out there when the weather calms down.
Oh my goodness!
That would be a great thing, wouldn't it? So,
yeah,
just sitting there waiting for us. Where are they? Come on!
I think that's what happened during the COVID thing. They all were going, "Hey man, this is party time! Look at this! I haven't seen a boat in how long?" That would have really caused them to come out. Trae, I think you're down in Pompano?
Yeah, we're down in Pompano on US 1 over here close to the 14th Street boat ramp.
It looks like according to the radar, you're getting pounded. Are you getting pounded right now?
Yeah, well, what happens is we're getting these bands coming through, so it picks up for a few minutes, and then it calms down, then it picks up, like the typical tropical storm.
Wow. Well, let me ask you a little bit about...
Pompano is phenomenal, by the way. I grew up in Pompano, and the fishing out of Hillsborough Inlet is absolutely phenomenal. Always was, always has been, always will be, probably. So.
Oh yeah, definitely a fishing town.
One of the places I have not fished was Hillsborough Inlet. I'm going to have to check that out when all this stuff calms
the inlet's
down.
not much fun itself, but once you get out through the inlet, it's great.
Okay. Because I know at Boynton Beach now, I've done Boynton Beach Inlet a couple times. That's a monster to fish there, especially if you're trying to fish the actual inlet. Oh my God! I'm sorry.
You got concrete walls on both sides, and it just becomes a washing machine. You get a couple of boats in there.
Good way to describe it. It is.
Yep.
It is really. The water just runs right through. I've always wondered why didn't they do something like put a generator down there or something? You can generate electricity with all that power going back and forth for free. Dig it a little deeper.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm always thinking of things like that. So tell me a little bit about. We haven't talked for a while. Tell me a little bit about the tackle store you got.
Yeah, so we got a tackle store. It's about 5,000 square feet, and we, our original concept was to provide excellent customer service and cater to the family-type fishing community, where women can come in and shop and feel comfortable, and kids can come in and the families together, and the guys can go on their side. The women and kids, they can find their spots in the store or shop together, and we cater from the beginners all the way up to the, tournament serious fishing teams. So we try to be well balanced over here.
And you're
a
willing.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're one of those that's willing to. Somebody comes in and say, "Hey, listen, I want to go fishing. This is what I'm fishing for. What do you think? Can you give me some pointers?" You're one of those who's willing to take the time and kind of work with those people and explain to them, if you're going to go fishing for so-and-so, you really should be doing this and that and the other. That's one of the advantages of dealing with somebody like Big Dog. Another advantage of dealing with someone like Big Dog Tackle, it's a small family-owned company. You guys have listened to me know that this is one of my heartstrings. Small family-owned companies are the backbone, the financial backbone of this country. And now more than ever, we need to support them because it was the big corporations that were allowed to continue to do business while the small guys who, believe it or not, the small guys are the guys that pay the taxes. We're the ones who end up, the corporations have millions of dollars to pay attorneys to figure out how not to pay taxes. We don't have that luxury. Small business people end up paying the taxes, but the most important thing other than your taxes, we give back. When you're dealing with a small business, a family-owned business that's local, you will find well over 90% of the time they're giving back to the community something in some way, shape, or form. They're giving back to the community. So when you're spending money at a corporation, you're investing money with a small, locally owned, family-owned company. This is so important for me to get across to people. Whenever you have an opportunity, if you've got product A and the same product in a small family-owned company, and product A is in a large corporation, my heartstrings is that you would carefully consider buying it from the small company. And here's another reason. The research that I've done tells me that well over 60 cents of every dollar that you spend with a small, locally owned company, well over 60 cents in one way, shape, or another comes back to the community. When you do that with one of these large corporations, you're lucky to get 40. So again, it's all about making it win for everybody locally. And the way to do that is to deal with a local family-owned company. They'll treat you like family. I don't have to speak for them. He'll tell you the same thing. Am I right?
Oh, you're 100% right, Riscala. I mean, you bring up a great point, and also the gentleman prior to this. I can guarantee you that the gentleman that was on prior to this, I know he gets some sponsorship money and some donated rods and reels, but I know he's coming out of pocket to help the community himself. I mean, we do what we have to do. And I like that you brought that up, because we have our charity fishing tournament coming up next Saturday. And but even better than that tournament, we do have sponsors, and we have 30 boats on the early entry. So we take a percentage of that, and it goes. You're going to love this. I was trying to work with a big charity, and kind of like big charities sometimes are like big corporations.
Yeah.
It's hard to get things done.
Yeah.
And the money, you don't know 100% where all the money is. I was trying to work with one particular one, but it didn't work out. So my mom is an ICU nurse in Kendall, and she deals directly with the COVID patients. And she had a coworker who's a respiratory therapist working directly with COVID patients. He contracted it. He's been on a ventilator for 3 months with a wife, a daughter, and a mother that he was helping take care of on a daily basis. So our proceeds are going to go directly to help them.
Wow. Excellent. Go ahead, Robert.
No, I said that's perfect. I wish that I could see as many shop local banners as I see every other kind of banner.
Yeah.
Shop local banners should be all over every city in the country. But, it's a
big
fact.
difference.
They do more good for the community than anybody else does. Walmart's not going to sponsor your kids. And,
absolutely.
Sam's Club's not going to sponsor your kids in a baseball team, but these businesses do. We do. We have an insurance office. We sponsor the local band here at the high school. We do lots of stuff, but local businesses are where it's at as far as the community goes. If you want to get involved in your community, get involved with local business first.
And I like to point out, when you're going to spend money with a big corporation, you're spending money. When you're going to invest, it's a difference here. When you're going to invest in a small company by buying their product, the difference is they're going to treat you like you're going to be part of that company. This is how I live. I'm a small businessman. Robert's a small businessman. Trae's a small businessman. I promise you, the three of us all are in agreement about this one thing. When you come to us and you utilize whatever it is that we have, you are in a way part of our family now, and you will be treated differently than you would be with a big corporation. And now more than ever, with this COVID thing going on, so many small businesses have gone. My business services other businesses. I've lost at least 20 of my customers. They're out of business. They're gone. They were deemed non-essential, and they could only go for so long, financially free-floating, before they sunk. So again, to me, this is a very important thing for us right now, you're going to make a decision to buy a product. If that product is available at a small, locally owned company, please consider them. And whatever that might be, whether it's from cutting the lawn to buying a fishing rod, whatever that might be, if you have an opportunity to deal with a small, locally owned company, please consider them. I promise you, the majority of the time, 99% of the time, you will not be sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, your small local restaurants, too, unless you want to eat at Denny's the rest of your life.
Oh, my God, they hit
all
them
your
hard.
Little local restaurants and bars and stuff, they all need your help really badly right now. So
they hit them so hard.
Riscala.
Yes, sir.
So I, as part of the tournament that we're doing, I wanted to mention this because I know you're a veteran. And I decided with this, I've done a couple, and they're, smaller tournaments. They're not the big extravagant, like $2 million prize money tournaments. But with the tournament, I decided that next Wednesday coming up, which is Veterans Day, we have, through the money we've raised, have chartered out a 135-foot vessel out of Hollywood.
Wow.
It's called the American Patriot. It was one of the boats that was taking people out of New York during 9/11.
Oh,
and
I remember.
Captain Ralph Hawkins has totally redone the boat. And we're taking out first responders, veterans, and their families out fishing for the day.
Wow.
And we have the breakfast, we have the lunches included, and we're doing a nice ceremony. I have Kitty McGowan is going to sing the national anthem. I have a couple of keynote speakers that are going to be wonderful. And I personally wanted to extend the invitation to you. If you weren't busy and you had time, we're doing it in the morning. If you wanted to come out, I would happy to have you.
Oh, I am honored and thrilled. My gosh, I don't have any plans for Wednesday as of yet. So, yes, absolutely.
Oh, that would be phenomenal. Yeah, Carolyn, I had told Carolyn that I thought it was a good idea, and we were texting. I know she's out of town, but, she's a tremendous soul and a super strong woman, and, she's also, of course, always welcome. And also she is sponsoring the tournament with products.
Yep.
She's always giving, too. She's another giving person.
Yep. Well, she's beautiful from the inside out. Those are my favorites. And they're beautiful from 100%. The inside out. I kid with her, and some of my other lady friends who are like that. I tell you would have to work at being ugly, and I don't mean just ugly looking. I mean ugly. You know what I mean, like in your character. You call some people ugly, but you don't mean that they don't look good. It's the way that they carry themselves, kind of thing. And Carolyn's one of those. She would have to work at it. She's just so sweet and so giving all the time. She would have to work at being a bad person.
Yeah. And also, if you know any kids that want to come out Wednesday, I heard the last gentleman say he had a bunch of rods and reels donated. Well, my buddy Mike Lambrex, who works with the CCA and Fish Florida Foundation, he just dropped off 40 fishing rods for the kids with little tackle boxes.
Oh, my gosh.
We're bringing those, and we're going to give those away, too, when we're there.
Oh, my goodness. That's great. All right. Well, I'll make sure I'll get a hold of you, and I'll get all the details from you. And I don't have anything planned for Wednesday. It'd truly be an honor. Thank you so much for that invitation.
Oh, it's 100% my honor.
Great. Robert, anything you want to add before we go on to a break?
No, I'm going to look up Big Dog Tackle as soon as I get off the phone, though, and start promoting them. So
there you go.
And actually, if you guys want to go check out what we've done in the last couple of years since we've had the tackle store, and I tell you, the fishing community is so amazing. They all come together, and they're very giving and supportive. The website and the nonprofit we set up when Dorian hit.
Oh, that's a ways
is
back.
called. It's fishingforhumanity.org, and you can see the projects that we've worked on over the years and what we've done. So, it's just great. I mean, I feel so lucky to be able to do this kind of stuff and have the people around me that are also the same.
The lucky thing is a two-way street, my friend. We're fortunate to have people like you who are willing to give back. Because there is so much craziness going on in this world today. It's always good to know and be reminded there are people out there who are willing to give back time and time again. So it is an honor to have you on, and I'll be contacting you about the information regarding the trip. I want to thank you so very much and wish you an awesome day. I'm going to give Robert an opportunity to say goodbye to you. And Robert, you're gone for the morning, so we'll be welcoming the Florida Salty Cowgirl here in a few minutes. So, Robert, you'll give you an opportunity to say goodbye, and we're going to go to a break, and we'll be back.
I will find you, sir, and I will start promoting your store. I also would like to be in touch with you because I heard what you were saying about the Dorian and all that. We started a program called Florida Keys Wagon Train. We had drop points all over the state. I would like to make your store one of those, if possible, for next hurricane season, and I will be in touch.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, my friends, here we go.
You're listening to
Thank you,
the
Robert.
Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion. Air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW. Be there.
Fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida. Where the sun shines all day. It just called me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah. Fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Good morning to you. If you're just joining us, we will have archives set up. That'll be on our Facebook page. The way to find them, go to Facebook, find the Fishing in Florida Show, and you will see links to the archive set up there. So anything that you missed, you can always go back and listen to again. Usually I have Carolyn. Carolyn is with Atlas Tracks, and if you want to protect what you love to the max, let's try that again. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you've got to talk to my friend Carolyn over there at Atlas Tracks. Well, Carolyn this morning is taking care of Mom. Carolyn's mom had an accident. She fell and hurt herself. And rather than sending her to a convalescent home, God bless her, she's taking care of her herself, giving her the best treatment that could possibly be, and that would be a treatment from a daughter to a mom. So to take her place, I am honored to have the Florida Salty Cowgirl. Good morning, Miss Angelia. How are you? Yeah, you were. I apologize. You broke up a little bit. I think that are you the one who told me that? Yeah, it was you. I'm leaving the keys to get away from the storm, and guess what's coming your way?
I know, and it's hilarious because I come running up the Gulf Coast of Florida, which is, my home base, so to speak, where I grew up and my home turf. And I come running up here, and I'm watching that storm, and dang if I'm not going to have to probably drive back down south through it. But
Well,
but it's okay. It's down south right now in the Keys. It is just a giant wind and rain event.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
Hopefully
Lots
that's
of
all
weather.
it's going to be. We'll have a little flooding because we're so low lying that we always hold water when it rains like this. But yeah, it's going to be a big, great. This is the first real, storm hurricane activity that we've gotten, and it's going to be a giant rain and wind event. But yes, I did try to run away from it, and it's chasing me.
Well, you probably, I don't know whether you're listening early on, we had a gentleman by the name of William Dunn. He was a man who devotes his time to taking kids fishing and helping them and just making them feel like they're loved, primarily foster children and things of that nature. The fishing community is always, in my opinion, is always reaching out for one thing or another. And there are so many people in the fishing community that go above and beyond, well over 100%. And my next guest, Summer Warren, is one of those people. She puts on a tournament. I'm going to let her kind of explain what it is. And I wanted her to come on and tell us, she just had a tournament, as a matter of fact, about 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. Let me say, first of all, welcome and good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? It's so nice to speak with all of you again. We're doing really well. How about you all?
Go ahead, Angelia.
Doing great. Absolutely fantastic.
Now, Angelia is over on the West Coast this morning. She's over in her hometown around Tampa. But I wanted Summer to come on because Summer just had, was it 2 weeks ago, Summer?
Yeah, the end of September. So we were a few weeks. But yes, it actually, we typically have it. This is our 7th year, and we typically have it the second week in September. Well, the last 3 years we have been rescheduled due to hurricanes. So this year we had the brilliant idea we're going to move it to second week in August, or the third week in August, and then we had a pandemic. So then we had to reschedule it back to the end of September. And we did have to move venues. But all in all, it was amazing. It was a great turnout. We had about 150 boats, which is, a little about 50 less than typically. But, with the circumstances, it was incredible. The community really rallied together. I created this in 2013 after losing my son Chase at 10 months old to a fatal neurological disease. And we had made a promise to him that we would help other families and children like us as small business owners, who struggled financially to care for him while battling a life-threatening illness. It's extremely difficult. So Chasin Tailz was created to help these families, and that's exactly what we do. Just in 2020, we've been able to provide emergency financial assistance to help families with children battling life-threatening illnesses to 19 families. And we also provide meals delivered room to room at the Palm Beach Children's Hospital to keep families together during dinner and meals and to limit the expense because it is very expensive. And we've been able to feed thousands and thousands this year. And because of the success of the tournament, we actually just funded another 12 months of that program. Wow. And we'll be able to fund so many more families. So it was incredible. The community really rallied together even during a pandemic. I think everybody was ready to get back on the water and have a good time. Team Tuppence, Steve Sprague, he won with a 48-pound king. So it was a really great event at a fun new venue, a little difficult changing venues 30 days prior, but it really worked out well.
Well, I know it was a tremendous amount of work that goes into trying to make one of these things work. The scheduling, the organization, just the paperwork alone is a tremendous amount of energy required to do all that. And when you're doing it because of a love for other children, that is something to be commended. And again, our fishing community, I'm sure this is true in other places, but I am so honored and privileged to know some of these people that are in our community that constantly give back, even sometimes at their own financial pain, even if it comes out of their own pocket sometimes. They give back because they believe in the community and they believe in our country. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for taking care of the kids. Thank you for doing the tournament. This is, to me, I couldn't find a better way to raise money. Your people are going to invest money into your tournament. They're going out. They're going to have a good time. They may win. They may not win, but they're going to have a good time fishing, because I've never had a bad time fishing, even when I don't catch fish. It's a better day than being at work. So they're going to have a good time. And in knowing that, the money that they've invested with you goes back to help somebody. How can everybody wins, right? Everybody wins.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a win-win. You have a great time. You create these amazing memories. Maybe you catch a bunch of fish. Maybe you win some money. And then in addition to that, you're helping. And not only that, but if you're a team, or if you're a sponsor, if you're a supporter, we email you regularly. We show you the children that we're helping. We show you
Awesome.
how the money is used, and you get to know these families. They actually become, part of family for me. I go to birthday parties, and, it's something that we build lifelong relationships, and it's important to us that our supporters and our teams and our sponsors, meet the families and get to know them as well. I think that it's important to know how, your money that you're supporting a foundation is used, and I think that our supporters appreciate that as well. But the fishing community is amazing. There are so many people that just come out that don't know me, never met Chase, but, appreciate our mission and what we do, and see the good work that we do, and never ask for anything. I have one anonymous donor who, I know who they are. They don't want anybody else to know who they are, and they just are just huge supporters and never ask for a single thing, never even a thank you, no recognition, nothing.
Wow. Well, I think I stepped over Angelia. I apologize, Angelia. Were you going to say something?
I've been listening intently, and I'm so incredibly impressed. Not only are you correct, Pascala, that it takes a tremendous amount of energy and work to put on a tournament, but for this particular purpose, and then the tremendous amount of energy that you're putting into supporting these families and helping these families and these children, I'm extremely touched, and I just want to say thank you, because that's an amazing thing you're doing.
Oh, I really appreciate it, but this is what I tell everyone. I'm like, yes, we work hard. We have a good team, and, we've gotten into some sort of rhythm 7 years in. But if it wasn't for everyone else, our teams, our supporters, our volunteers, I would just be standing there by myself. So really, it's everyone else, the community that believes in us and comes together, that makes it all happen. I just, I do the legwork. But everybody else, if it wasn't for everybody else, it wouldn't be happening.
It's a group thing.
That's what makes the entire effort just even more beautiful to me, because our marine community is amazing. And there's nothing better than a good tournament. Just the camaraderie amongst the anglers is amazing. And I've never joined a tournament, even if I just got skunked. I've never entered a tournament that I didn't, completely enjoy. And then, the community effort to make that all happen is just absolutely beautiful. So I feel very, very blessed to be in the fishing community and the marine community.
They work together. It's kind of, sort of, in a way, and this may be stretching a little bit, but kind of, sort of like an orchestra. Not everybody's a flute, not everybody's a drum, not everybody's whatever, a trumpet, whatever that might be. We have different kinds of people, different anglers, different ages, but they all seem to, when it comes to particular subjects in the fishing community, they all seem to work together for a result that would end up helping or benefiting someone in some way, shape, or form. And to me, giving back, it's what it's about. Because when you're giving back where everybody wins in kind of a selfish way, I'm part of everybody. And that's the kind of thing I like to endorse. That's the kind of thing I like to promote. And Chasin Tailz is one of those tournaments. If you want to know more about it, Tailz is Tailz. It's not S, it's Z like zebra, Chasin Tailz. And I think it's chasintailz.com, Summer? Is that what it is?
That's correct. Yeah, chasintailz.com, yes. And you're absolutely right. We are part of the Pro Tour, and we have pro teams that come, and we have weekend warriors, and we have people that have never fished a tournament before in their life. And I'll tell you what, all of them are on the board every year. You don't have to be a pro to win a fishing tournament. So, and that's what makes the camaraderie so incredible as well, is that anybody can win and anybody can be a part of it, and everyone makes you feel like you're at home.
I say, a lot of times I've said that when you go fishing, it's kind of, sort of, again, it's kind of a stretch, but it's kind of like playing the lottery. You go buy a $1 ticket, you probably aren't going to win anything, but there's always that chance that you will. And the same thing with fishing. You may be one of those that goes out there and focuses on a specific species of some sort, and you may not win. You may be the zero that day instead of the hero, but you come back feeling great, because I know in my personal experience there hasn't been a day that I've gone fishing and not had a good time. It's the gift that God has given us. The water's, my gosh, if you're in Florida and you don't like water, I've said it many times, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place.
What's wrong with you?
We have water everywhere. Wow, my goodness. So I guess you're gearing up for the next one now. The next one will be when?
We have to make a decision whether we're going to go for September or August for 2021. We typically have a kids tournament called the Santa Slam around Christmas, but unfortunately because of COVID, we've been forced to cancel that this year. But we're going to have some things in the works and see what we can do about getting some kids out on the water as well to try to make up for this kids tournament. Then it looks like the Palm Beach Boat Show will be on, and we typically start promoting the event there and get an early registration.
Well, I heard that it was going to be canceled. You're hearing that?
Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw that it was happening. Now, I don't know to what extent or what the limits or rules may be, but I did see that it was scheduled.
All right. Well, now, if people want to keep up to date with what you're doing, what's the best way to do that?
Well, they can follow our social media pages, which is Chasin Tailz, ChasenTailz, KDW Fishing Tournament, or you could go to the website, chasintailz.com.
I want to thank you. I wish you an awesome day regardless of the weather. Let me give Angelia an opportunity to say goodbye to you, and we'll do a quick break. Thank you so much, Summer.
Thank
Summer,
you so much.
It was a complete pleasure to hear about your tournament and meet you, and I wish you all the best, and I'll be following your feed from now on. I'd love to join your tournament next year, too. So.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. We have a few West Coast teams that travel over every year, and we would love to have you. It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much to both of you for having me on today.
God bless.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers. But that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Everywhere you look, people are talking about CBD. That's why it's such an exciting time to experience HempWorks, the best-selling, most in-demand line of premium CBD oil and CBD products for your health and wellness. Founded by entrepreneur, executive, and business coach Janice Wagle, HempWorks premium quality standards can be found from the top down and across the organization. From hemp farms to clean extraction methods to safe bottling, every step in our production process is vetted, monitored, and traceable, literally from the ground up. Thanks to our unique tracking system on the side of every HempWorks CBD tincture, we can track each batch of CBD oil all the way back to the farm it came from, all to ensure that you are offering safe, effective, and high-grade CBD products.
For more information, go to mydailychoice.com/red pill. That's mydailychoice.com/red pill. And you'll find a whole variety of products available for you.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah, fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Today is one of those days where this is probably one of the best days to listen to the show because you can't do much of anything else, especially if you're here in South Florida. We are enjoying liquid sunshine, my friends, and it is plentiful and will be plentiful for the rest of the day. It is not going to be a day to go out in a boat, maybe an ocean liner, but not anything smaller than that. It's not really going to be a good day to go surf fishing. We have high risk of rip tides, so it's not going to be a good day to rip current. Rip currents. Not going to be a good day to go to the beach. It's going to be a good day to sit around and listen to the show. So welcome. I appreciate that. There are different ways that you can listen to the show. The easiest of those ways is to download our app. Our app does not have any spyware, does not have any adware, and we don't have any push notifications. Just a way to listen to our network. You can find the app at the Apple Store and on the Google Store if you look up WCET FM, or if you look up Fishing in Florida. You can find it that way as well. If you're on the web, go to www.wcetfm.com. That's our home network. You can find a player there. If you're on the Facebook, you can go to Facebook, Fishing in Florida Show. Click on Contact Us. That's another way you can listen to us. If you have the TuneIn app, great big thank you to Marina Rock Radio. If you have the TuneIn app, go to Marina Rock Radio. You can find us there. This morning I have Angelia. Angelia is known as the Florida Salty Cowgirl. Carolyn's mom had an accident, and she's taking care of her mom this morning. That's why she's not with us. All the best to Mom and Carolyn. Thank you for doing that, Carolyn, and taking care of your mom. So welcome back, Miss Angelia.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And the next guest, let's see, our next guest is Mike Simko. Mike is another one of those people who gives back all the time. He taught me a heck of a lot about kite fishing. Ignorant me, when people mention kite fishing to me, I thought, that's kites, that's for kids. But boy, was I wrong. Oh my gosh, way off base on that one. So welcome, Mike, and thank you for taking the time to join us this morning, my friend.
Good morning, Riscala. Good morning, Angelia. How are you guys?
Good. Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
So Mike is someone who's been kite fishing for quite some time, and he has learned the curves, learn the skill, if you will, because there is a skill involved, and he's willing to share it with everybody, and that's one of the things I enjoy about him. So what are you going to share with us today, my friend?
Well, it's a really timely day, and as you said, it's right. You're right. It's so windy and rainy out here. It's not really a day for fishing. It's a fantastic day, however, to break out all your kites and your kite equipment and start getting those prepped for the upcoming season. Because, everything in fishing has somewhat of a season. Kite fishing was, although it was born centuries ago, the word is that the Incas actually were flying, kites that they fashioned out of leaves to get their baits offshore when they couldn't take their boats out to catch fish.
I never heard that. Wow.
In South Florida, Captain Bob Lewis in the 50s and 60s started to develop a very technical fishing kite, which would be stable in the wind and that would support a number of live baits away from the boat. So now all of a sudden you're adding baits to the spread. So anyways, because it started in South Florida and primarily the target in those days were sailfish, people started to do it when the sailfish would run from November till March. So now's a great time to actually get your kites cleaned up, get your reels serviced, make sure the line is great on your kite reels and on your primary rods and reels that you fish the live bait from. And plus, there's many little parts and pieces that you want to make sure are right, greased, still functioning properly. And here we go. We're getting hot. after this weekend, it's going to be a heck of a sailfish bite, I can imagine.
Once it settles down a little bit, I think the seas, I was reading earlier, I think it's 18 feet in some places.
I know. Well, it really looks promising. A couple of weeks ago, the West Palm Beach Fishing Club had a pop-up sailfish tournament. Roughly 30 to 40 boats entered. It's one of those deals that because of COVID, they'll do an online announcement that says, hey, how about this weekend? Looks good for sail fishing. And, a lot of the members and some of the other local folks would say, let's put the boats in the water and start fishing for a target species. They've been doing it for over, since March. And it was great. Actually, 2 weeks ago, the sailfish bite was pretty hot. One-day tournament, top boat got 5 fish, which is great for this time of year.
Wow. Well, I have certainly learned a lot about kites and what kites can do, the exponential advantage that they give people when you're using the kite, because if I remember right, you can do like three baits per kite.
Absolutely. 3 baits per kite. Some of the guys that really have their kites tuned in and can kick a kite off to the port or starboard or right or left, however you want to designate it, they'll kick them so far right or left that they could actually put one right down the center as well. That's 3 kites, 3 baits per kite. That's 9 baits on the downwind side of the boat. And then if you're drifting, imagine that you're doing your drift spread on the upwind side of the boat, 3 or 4 baits there, covering the whole water column. That's a lot of baits.
That increases your odds. My gosh. Now, I don't know if, Angelia, do you do kite fishing?
I don't, and I'm listening intently, and I so enjoy this time of year because of all of the sport fishers lined up along the reef with their kites out, and I think it's just beautiful. I do not kite fish, and I would love to learn. And I'm curious, though, when you have that many live baits out, do they ever get tangles on you, or do you have how do you place the kites just perfectly where your lines don't tangle?
All right, so just as a general rule, each bait is spaced out about 75 feet, 60 to 75 feet apart. And, the closer you put them, obviously, and that spacing is based on stops that you can do a number of different ways. I won't bore you with the details right now, but you put stops on the line between the kite and the reel, which stop the release clips. And the release clips are similar to what's used on an outrigger. From those release clips, you have associated rods that have the bait connected to them, and when a fish eats the bait, it'll come from the clip, it'll release from the clip, and that's generally, if you're paying attention, when a tangle can start happening, because a sailfish, you can imagine having 6 baits out there on 2 different kites. A sailfish decides to go to the right on your long bait. If he goes right on that right side kite, he's basically crossing the other 2 lines that are middle and short. So that is where a tangle can occur. But once again, if you're paying attention, we'll actually lift the baits out of the water after that bait releases from the clip, and you can raise them above, and he goes under them, and we drop them back in the water. So that's just part of the dance that you do in the boat and to avoid tangles.
That is awesome. And I, being an avid troller, completely get it. And that's awesome. Yep. I'm going to have to come out with you sometime and learn how to kite fish.
Well, that's a great segue into really what I do. I mean, my whole thing with fishing is I love to get people into it. The beginners, listen, I mean, once you get a whole number of hours of experience, I mean, okay, yeah, you can figure this stuff out yourself, but a lot of people don't get into kite fishing because it looks pretty complicated, and that's what I'm here for. Basically, I'm always available for questions on my website. I try to rotate instructional videos on my kitefishing.com web.
Uh-oh, we lost your mic. You faded out on me. Are you there, Angelia?
I am. And I'd love to add just a cute little antidote here. My favorite thing about this time of year and the kite fishers is they're lined up like right inside of the reef edge down in Isla Mirada. And I love to troll right off of the reef edge. and they're usually chumming the waters and yellowtailing for their paying passengers to keep them busy while they have kites out.
Mhm.
So they're chumming up the water really, really hard. And if I can catch my troll at the right time with an outgoing tide, so I'm capitalizing on all of that chum, I absolutely score. So I love the kite fishers.
Well,
And they're absolutely beautiful out there too. But they actually benefit me on if I can time it just perfectly, they benefit me as well this time of year. But I really would love to learn. And you know what really put me off? When I went to the bait and tackle shop and I figured out that one kite was about $100.
Well,
it's cheaper than, yeah, anything with fishing is going to be a little pricey, but yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Go ahead, Mike.
It's not right. You know, like anything in fishing, it's not that inexpensive. But what I do like about kites and their components are that they're reusable. So much about fishing, you know, is kind of planned obsolescence, and you know, you spend a fortune and it breaks down very quickly. I've got kites. Now I have a collection of over 60 kites. That's over 35 years, but I've got kites that date back into the early 80s that are still as good as the day that they were made. And really it's just about rinsing them off, drying them completely, storing them safely. And when you do that, that $100 goes a very long way. So yeah, some pieces of equipment like a kite, I can justify the cost because you know what, it'll last you for years and years to come.
And it's
very good to know.
It's $100, but how much do you spend on a rod? Because this is like having 3 lines, if you want, up to 3 lines out there. So it's increasing the odds of your ability to catch something. How much do you spend on other equipment? You know, so to me, it's kind of an investment that pays back pretty heavily. I mean, you know, again, when you have one fishing rod, you have one line. When you have one kite, you can have up to 3 lines. Maybe it makes more sense that way. So it increases exponentially increases your odds of being able to do something. So and maybe $100, it may be high. The initial investment may be high, but the return is great.
Absolutely.
And like anything,
go ahead. Sorry.
Like anything else, like you were saying, when you take care of your gear that you're investing in for this sport, it definitely will last you a very long time. So I totally understand about the kites.
I've actually come to the conclusion over years of buying and selling and trading up tackle that, you know, a lot of times, and I'm not picking on any particular brand, but a lot of times if you buy that $100 kite, you'll find that it doesn't perform as well as a $190 kite. And, you know, so in that comes comes the trade up scenario. So I started candidly in 1985 with really the only kite that was available, and that was the Lewis kite. It was the best kite. It was the only kite. And now there are 4 or 5 different manufacturers that create, you know, and manufacture kites of all different qualities. So for the entry level person, what they might buy is that $100 kite that, you know, flies fine in the right wind, but as the wind starts to get variable, it gets a little more squirrely. Maybe it only flies in a position that's a little higher than we want it to fly. So that's going to be the education that you give yourself over time. And that's the other thing I can help with as well. When people call me and say, what should I buy? You know, a lot of times their budget isn't, you know, $10,000 to set up a boat like I have mine. But it might be $500 for a rod, reel, kite, you know, all the clips. And, you know, it's kind of entry level, but you know what? You can start.
Oh, he's gone again. Somebody does. He's giving out secrets. Somebody doesn't want him giving out secrets. You faded out again, Mike.
I did?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, geez. Okay, where'd you lose me? Sorry about that.
So I'm curious, where do you do most of your kite fishing?
Well, it's funny. I kite fish everywhere. Can you hear me okay, first of all?
Yeah, you're a little low, but yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I don't know. I think this is just the weather that's getting the best of us.
Could be.
I primarily am based in North Palm Beach, but I fish tournaments from Key West to, you know, north of Stewart, Fort Pierce area. That's my general area that I would like to say that I fish most of my year. But, you know, I'm on tournament teams that fish, for example, SKA teams that will fish from the Carolinas, North Carolina area, even Atlantic City at some points, all the way to Venice Beach, Louisiana. So when I travel for fishing, I'll bring the kites wherever I go. So that's kind of the extent of it.
And do you catch a variety of fish?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the thing was, these things were designed primarily to target sailfish. But what was quickly learned, and if you look at some of the old logos on like the old Lewis kite, they had a kingfish, a tuna, and a sailfish on there. Because once you start with a live bait that's on the surface, kicking away and struggling, every predator that will eat that bait will attack the bait. Now, I've had some unusual catches. I mean, I've caught grouper on a kite, I've caught button snapper on a kite. But the more normal stuff, aside from sailfish, are wahoo, kingfish, blackfin tuna, you name it. You name it. If it'll see that bait and that's what they're hungry for, they will attack big time.
Mike, you said what I was going to ask. You kind of beat me to it, because if I'm not mistaken, one of Angelia's favorite is grouper, right, Angelia?
If I'm bottom fishing, I'm a grouper fiend, and if I'm trolling, I am praying for wahoo.
So this is something that can do both, Angelia. This is something that can do both.
That's why I was kind of curious, because I love to expand my horizons and angling all the time. And I've always been very, very curious about kite fishing, and I figured that they were mostly targeting the sailfish. But knowing, how the fish react to bait in the water, I knew that most predators are going to go after a live bait on the surface. So I was just very, very curious of the variety of species. And yeah, if I can catch everything from grouper to wahoo to kite fishing, I'm darn sure interested.
You mentioned something about when you troll, and there are times when you're trolling and you get your chum slick back in that trolling spread. Well, imagine being on the hook. You're anchored up in 35 to 60 feet of water, even a little deeper. You've got a nice little current, but good wind. So the wind pushes the kites behind the boat, and you drop a chum bag over, and you start bringing up all those fish from the reef, along with all the pelagics. That's some of the most fun fishing we can do. Is we'll have the kites pegged back there. They're kind of surrounding the surface of the chum slick, and then you've got your baits on the bottom. I mean, it's just action packed. What a great day those are.
That excites me just hearing about it.
That's right. That's right up her alley. Now you're pulling her strings right now.
Oh yeah, I got a big smile.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. Well, Mike, thank you so much. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Well, listen, like I said, I love this time of year because I get calls, people that basically find me on the website or find my Facebook page, which is Kite Fishing Experts, Mike Simko, and kitefishing.com is the website. You can get my contact information, message me, call me. I love getting people started. I love helping them get set up with the right tools to do this. And this is my time of year, so looking forward to that, and thanks for the opportunity of being on the show.
I'm always so grateful because you always are one of those that when I send him a text and ask him, can you be on the show, it's almost always yes, unless he's out there fishing and he knows he's going to be out of the contact area, he'll be away from the ability to call in. And he's even called in a couple of times. Where we've had you when you even hooked up a couple of times, at least one time, right? When you called in.
Oh yeah. That's, those are always fun. Those are always fun reports.
One of my favorite people because he's always good about coming on. Thank you, Mike. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for what you do. You teach others, and that's for me, that's all part of life. I want to give Angelia an opportunity to say goodbye to you, and we're going to go to a quick break.
Yeah, pleasure hearing from you, Mike, and you've definitely got my interest more than piqued about kite fishing. So we'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
Here we go.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Everywhere you look, people are talking about CBD. That's why it's such an exciting time to experience HempWorks, the best-selling, most in-demand line of premium CBD oil and CBD products for your health and wellness. Founded by entrepreneur, executive, and business coach Janice Wagle, HempWorks premium quality standards can be found from the top down and across the organization. From hemp farms to clean extraction methods to safe bottling, every step in our production process is vetted, monitored, and traceable, literally from the ground up. Thanks to our unique tracking system on the side of every HempWorks CBD tincture, we can track each batch of CBD oil all the way back to the farm it came from, all to ensure that you are offering safe, effective, and high-grade CBD products.
For more information, go to mydailychoice.com/red pill. That's mydailychoice.com/red pill. And you'll find a whole variety of products available for you.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no. Answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions. Don't text and drive.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. Final segment of the Fishing in Florida Show. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for joining in. Greatly appreciate it. What an awesome show we have had this morning. Some people really pulling on my heartstrings this morning, giving back to the community. One of my favorite things to hear about is how people give back in one way, shape, or another. And if my microphone will cooperate here, whether that is through financial or whether that is through educational. It is awesome to know that there's people out there that do so much in the fishing community. And one of the people that are my favorites is right around this time of the morning, calls in from the Keys, but she's not in the Keys this morning. She's over in the West Coast. Thought she was hiding from the storm, but the storm has followed her over to the Tampa area. Welcome back, Miss Angelia.
Thank you so very much. Well, the good thing is I'm laying here looking out through beautiful glass windows over the Central Florida Gulf of Mexico, right on the water, and it's dark and it's gloomy, but at least there's not 30-mile-an-hour winds and buckets of rain falling. So
This is true. Well, let's see. I think we have our next guest on the line. His name is Jeff Tilley, and he is with the Oyster Boss. And the Oyster Boss is up there in northern Florida somewhere. Sopchoppy. I remember Sopchoppy when I was in Panama City. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Very well, thank you. Great to be with you.
Go ahead, Angelia.
good morning.
So,
yes, good morning. Great to be with you.
I remember Sopchoppy when I was stationed at Tyndall Air Base up there in Panama City, but I don't remember exactly where. Where's Sopchoppy?
Well, so coming to the east from the vicinity of Tyndall Air Force Base, probably an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour 30 minutes east on Highway 98. And anyway, you'll have to deviate just a little bit. You have to come up Highway 319 when you get into the Carabel area, but that takes you right past Sopchoppy, right through Sopchoppy.
A little
nice little town.
Yeah, a little town. I remember you could drive through it in about 10 minutes. I don't know if that's still true.
Yeah, to use a golfing metaphor, maybe a 5-iron from one end to the other. You think?
Well, that's what I
maybe
enjoyed.
A 4-iron for some.
That's what I had come to enjoy about being up there. It was a difficult transition for me because I grew up in Miami. Always something happening any given time of the day. I don't care what time it was. It didn't matter what day it was. You could go somewhere and find something happening. And when they told me I was going to be stationed at Tyndall Air Base, when I first heard that, I said, "Where is that?" And they said, "Well, it's Panama City, Florida." Well, the time previous to that I'd been there was with my parents. I was 16 or 17 years old. It was party town. I went, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
No. So little did I know that right in the second week or so of September, I think it is, the whole town shuts down. And not only does the Miracle Strip shuts down, and then the town closed at that time. I don't know I'm sure it's not true now, but at that time it closed at 9:00 at night. There was only two things.
It's not far from that now.
It was only two things open. It was a gas station and a Waffle House on Highway 98. That was the only two things open after 9:00 back then.
That's all you need right there. So
it was a difficult transition.
We have the 9:00 rule up this way, and the 9:00 rule is if the phone rings, you either need bail money or you're at the emergency. So those are the only two excusable reasons for doing much after 9:00.
Once I got used to it, I really loved it. And I do miss it tremendously. The ability to go from point A to point B in a very reasonable amount of time, always going somewhere and you know somebody. You meet somebody you know wherever you go. It's not like being in a big city where you could literally go for hours and hours and hours and never see anybody that you know. It was just a completely different way of life.
Doubt.
So tell me a little bit.
My compatriots.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. You go ahead. Something about Patriots.
I was just going to say the dichotomy between North Florida versus South Florida. I tell my compatriots in this part of the state that we need to be paying very close attention to issues in the central and the southern part of the state of Florida because that urbanization, it's marching northward, and we're not immune. We're not immune from the issues that the rest of the state faces in terms of water quality challenges and population challenges, et cetera. So North Florida might seem like a really different country, but we're really not. We're all in this together.
Amen. So tell me a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so oyster farming's become quite a thing as wild oyster populations crash around the globe. And Florida finally woke up to the opportunities. Our Department of Agriculture has put together a program, a good program, by the way, for shellfish aquaculture, not just oysters, but also clams. And that's really taken root in the Cedar Key area more than anywhere else. But also it's infiltrated certain estuaries here in the Panhandle. And my company, Oyster Boss, is involved right here in Franklin County, which you may recall since you spent some time up this way. Franklin County is the location of Apalachicola, Florida, which of course has always been famous for its oysters.
Yeah, known for the oysters are the best in the I can't think of the right word. Anyway, some of the best oysters in the world. Yeah,
and at one time, Apalachicola Bay produced 90% of the state's oyster crop.
Wow!
Which was also 10% of the nation's crop. That estuary, Apalachicola Bay, is now in complete decline, and the oyster populations have disappeared. And the FWC, Florida Wildlife Commission, has now been given a $20 million grant to come up with a plan, a program, a 5-year program to restore oyster populations in the bay. So it's a lot of exciting stuff going on around here for restoration, oyster restoration, and the farmers, I'm hoping, are going to be a big part of that. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you familiar with an organization called Ocean Aid 360?
No, I don't think I am.
I think I want to give you his contact information. This is a man who is part of his name is Captain Neil Holland, I think it is. They have an organization that has a tournament. It's called the Ghost Trap Rodeo. And what they do is they go out and they pick up abandoned crab traps. And
Right.
in the process of picking up the abandoned crab traps, they recycle some of that material into oyster beds so that new oyster growth can happen. I think this would be somebody interesting that you may want to talk to. I think he might be able to
Absolutely.
help. And I think he may already be doing that because I've had him on the show a couple of times, and if I recall, I think he said they were going to be doing some work up in that area. So you could get some firsthand information about what's going on.
Sure. Yeah. So one of the things that we're not doing in the northern part of the state right now is we're not recycling shell. And we really need to put some programs together. I was at an event last night shucking oysters, and there was, a lot of spent shell that was, developed because of that event. And anyway, it makes me sad that probably 99% of the oysters that are shucked in this part of the state do not find their way back into the water. And they really should. It'd be very beneficial if they could. But programs need to be put in place, and that's part of what the FWC is going to be doing, I'm sure, even though I don't know the specifics of their grant and how they're going to accomplish what they're going to be, what they've been given the task to do. All that type of restoration effort is important.
Wow. I think Angelia was trying to say something. Were you trying to say something, Angelia?
I'm all about conservation efforts, and I'm very impressed with the numbers that the Apalachicola farm can produce, and very disappointed to hear that it's in decline. Why is it in so much decline?
Well, I've been asked that question a lot in recent years because it's just been such a big thing in this part of the state that the bay has, the oyster engine in the bay has actually stopped running. And, there's not a short answer. There's probably 100 different reasons why the bay fell into decline, maybe 1,000 different reasons. But one thing we do know is that it was not one single reason. So there, it's like almost, you've heard the phrase about death by, 1,000 paper cuts. And I believe that's what's going on here. So there's definitely water quality issues. You all may have heard over time about Florida's lawsuit against Georgia because supposedly Atlanta was stealing too much water out of the Apalachicola River, which is called the Chattahoochee, by the way, up in Georgia. It's called the Appalachia in Florida, Apalachicola. Anyway, so lots and lots of recrimination, lawsuits, finger pointing. Look, the BP oil spill has some fingerprints on the corpse of Apalachicola Bay. So. Anyway, and also, the locals, you just can't take those baby oysters out of the water when you're tonging and not return them. A lot of those guys were throwing those oysters in a bag and hauling them to the processing house and getting paid for them, monetizing next year's mom and dad oysters. So, that's going to hurt the production of the bay, no doubt. So, there's a lot of reasons, some social and some biological. But hopefully they can get this thing figured out. I am worried, though. I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out. I'm worried about the FWC's, the way they comport themselves in this kind of scenario. And I'll give you a 3-point idea on this. So point number one is I think we would all agree that the FWC is really good at law enforcement. So, no problems, no issues, no qualms there. They're also really good. Point number two, they're also really good at the biology. They got some great biologists working.
I agree. Yeah.
So I'm absolutely certain they're going to be able to understand what to do. But here's where I think they're going to have a problem. Point number three, they're not very good at all at making friends. And
that's a very good point. Very, very good point.
I just rendered the understatement of the day, right? I believe that if they're going to succeed in Franklin County and Apalachicola Bay, they're going to need the help of the locals. And I don't know anybody that does not hate the FWC. The local commercial fishermen have been persecuted since 1994, and they all believe unjustly, unfairly. The local oystermen over there, same thing. They just get absolutely put through the ringer by the local FWC officers. Anyway, so if you make enough enemies, then nobody's going to step forward out of the local community to roll up their sleeves and help you with this effort. And I really don't know how they're going to fix that problem. maybe I'm making more of it than I should.
No, I've
but
heard from
I-
other people as well. Their bedside manner, if you will, is not the best. It's not to be, to be admired, if you will.
Very well put, Rosella.
We're completely out of time. Jeff, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you bringing it to light and sharing time with us this morning. I don't know how it is up there weather-wise, but it is really crummy down here. I wish you an awesome day, my friend. Yeah. I wish you an awesome day. And let me let Angelia say goodbye to you. Angelia, by the way, thank you for being co-host this second half of the show this morning. And then we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Go ahead, Angelia.
Very, very nice to hear from you, and very interesting about the oysters. I had no idea, so thank you for enlightening me.
Oh, you're welcome. Great talking
Because
to
I
you all.
darn sure consume enough.
So long, everybody. Enjoy your day.
Bye.